Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, in this tutorial we're gonna do a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat. I think it's a nice stitch to do blanket, a scarf, a hat if you like. I'm gonna use 4.5mm crochet hook, and this stitch works with multiples of 3 plus one more. So I have 15 here, I have multiples of 3, and I'm gonna chain one more chain. We're gonna skip the first chain, and into the second chain from the hook we're gonna do single crochet, and this row is gonna be single crochet in each chain. So you're gonna move to the next chain, single crochet, and so on. In each chain, single crochet. And it's a very easy stitch. You can change colors if you like. If you prefer, you can work with variegated yarn. Either way. I think it's nice with this stitch to change colors every 2 rows, so 1 row of single crochet in each stitch, and 1 more row with the same color when we do the stitch, and then when you have to start a new row with single crochet, there is the moment that you're gonna change the colors. Each row for single crochets in each stitch, you're gonna change colors if you like. You can work with only 1 color if you like. Okay, now we're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and now into this first stitch here we're gonna do a double crochet. Then we're gonna do a puff into this first stitch. So I went 3 times, so if you like you can go many times you like, or just twice. So we're gonna pull the yarn through all these stitches, well, not stitches, the loops. So now we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third stitch we're gonna do 2 double crochets. So 1 and the second double crochet, and now into the same stitch where we did these 2 double crochets we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the third time. You can go less or more, depends how thick you want or big you want the puff. Yeah. So yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops. Again, we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're gonna do the same, 2 double crochets first. This is the first, go back again for the second double crochet, and now a puff. So once, twice, and the third time. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops, and we're gonna repeat. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat. Skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're gonna do the same. So in that stitch you're gonna put 2 double crochets and a puff. So now we're gonna go back into the stitch and do a puff once, twice, and the third time. Pull the yarn through all the loops. Again, we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're gonna do the same, 2 double crochets first. So 1, 2, and a puff into the same stitch. You're gonna pull the yarn through all the loops, and you're gonna chain 1. We're gonna skip the next stitch, and into the next, which is the last, we're gonna do a double crochet. Only 1. It's gonna look like this. Now we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna do single crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna do single crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So we have the stitch for the puff, and the next 2 stitches form the double crochets. So into the next, here, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, and so on. And in here also, and we're gonna do single crochet in each stitch. So these are the rows that you're gonna repeat. One row of single crochet in each stitch, and a row with 2 double crochet and a puff into a stitch. It's a very easy, not complicated stitch, so for you guys, the beginners, will be nice. So the next stitch, single crochet, and the last stitch, single crochet. Now we're gonna chain 3. So we're gonna repeat the row with the puff and the double crochet. Looks like this. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna skip the first stitch because this is coming from the chain. We're gonna skip this one and we're gonna go into this, the second stitch. So we're gonna repeat 2 double crochets and a puff into the same stitch. So once, twice, and the third time. Pull the yarn through all the loops. We're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the third we're gonna repeat. So now depends on your yarn size. When you have to do the puff, maybe you're gonna go less than 3 times. This yarn is not that thick, so I can go 3 times. So again, skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're gonna place in that stitch 2 double crochet and a puff. And now we're gonna do the puff. So again, you're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third you're gonna repeat. We skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third the same, 2 double crochets and a puff. Gonna do once, twice, and the third time. Pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and then we're gonna skip the next stitch, and into the last we're gonna do a double crochet. It's gonna look like this. So now you're gonna chain 1, turn your work, and you're gonna repeat. The first stitch is here, single crochet, single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet, single crochet, and so on. You're gonna do like this. So these are the rows that you're gonna repeat. It's a little bit open work for autumn or spring, if you are to do let's say a baby blanket. So when you start the row for the single crochet, now is the moment that you change. So you're gonna do with one color, you're gonna do 1 row of single crochet and the row with the puff and the double crochet. When you have to start a new row of single crochet, then you're gonna change the colors. If you like to change colors, you can change every 2 rows. If you like, you can change it every 4 rows. Depends on your liking. So the last stitch, single crochet, you're gonna chain 3, turn your work, and now yarn over the hook. You're gonna skip the first and the second. So 1 row you're gonna skip the first stitch, and into the second you're gonna do the 2 double crochet in the puff, and then you're gonna do 1 row of single crochet, and the next row that you have to do the 2 double crochet in the puff, you're gonna skip 2 stitches. Yeah, so you're gonna skip 1, 2, and into the third you're gonna do 2 double crochets and a puff. So these rows, they will be alternated. Skip the next 2 and into the third stitch, 2 double crochets and a puff. Pull the yarn through all the loops, skip the next 2 stitches and into the third the same. So the next row, when you have to do this style with the puff and the double crochets, you're gonna skip the first stitch and into the second stitch you're gonna do the 2 double crochet and the puff. So in one row you're gonna skip 2 stitches, and in one row you're gonna skip only 1 stitch and then do the work the stitch. So skip the next 2 and into the third repeat 2 double crochets and a puff, chain 1, and we're gonna skip the next stitch and into the last stitch a double crochet. Then you're gonna chain 1 and you're gonna repeat the row with a single crochet in each. The first stitch is here, so you're gonna do single crochet, and so on until you finish the end, the row. And the next row that you're gonna do this, you know, the design, the next row you're gonna skip only 1, the first stitch, and into the next you're gonna do all this, the cluster. So the stitch looks like this. This is what we worked up until now. So in here you can attach whatever, the border if you like, depends on your choice. So it's very, very easy, goes really fast, and you can do this for spring or autumn. It has a little bit opening. You can even do a vest or a cardigan, even a scarf if you like. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.